Riyadh Falcons, I would say the second best hardpoint team in the game after Optic Texas. And today we're going to go through Blackheart's hardpoint, where they're absolutely dominant in. Let's go through, break it down, see what they do well, and just where their strengths are coming from in this map against a very decent Toronto side who are on the upward trajectory. Let's go across, see what happens there. P1's going to be very mixy across the board. You're going to see a lot of trades going in. It's going to be very, very favorable from the side of Falcons to start this one off with. Good aggression. Off the break, this is just a really, really good start. And what I like about that play there is Celium actually getting aggressive. At times last year, what we saw is Celium being a little bit more passive. I'll be honest, myself, sometimes I replicate that passive playstyle. But what I love right now is just this initial play. Look at this, okay? He goes through, they get a couple of kills, they know wall bounce is open, so look what Celium does. As he goes and gets a kill wall bounce, right there, I love the decision to back away with his pistol, by the way, go through and help double door. And just that extra aggression, what that does is it just kind of slows down the other team and it just pushes them back a little bit and it gives them time to think and understand what they want to do again. I really like that initial play. Okay, off the break here we have a good crossfire in terms of what we have set up. What you're going to see from the side of Falcons is you're going to have Exit kind of watching the wall bounce, you're going to have Pred watching the double door, and off the break, you're going to have Kismet watching the left side, right? So all three areas are already covered. What you're going to see now is Celium spawn back there. He's going to go straight through the double door and just assist whatever lane needs assisting, okay? So you're going to go through. I actually really like the play from Joe Deceives. What Joe's going to do is essentially kind of just cause a little bit of annoyance from the side of Falcons. You're going to see they're going to go through and Joe's just going to be a bit annoying because it looks like he's got through, but he's actually going to back away, double challenge with Kleenex. I like the play from Joe. He gets killed, but he does help the trade there, and they're just going to overwhelm Falcons through the front, and they're going to win those fights. Really good job there. Off the break, because Toronto are spawning deep there, that should show that the Falcons are going to spawn wall bounce side. So let's see how they react to this, right? With 15 seconds left, I want to see a rotation from number 6 here. I want to see him locking down that P2 area. So what I will say right now is they just got a bailout. They just got a bailout 2-piece from Exnid. This 1v1 was actually so huge right now. If we pause it right now, look at the numbers. It's actually a 2v3 from Falcons. From Falcons, what you're actually hoping for, a realistic scenario right now, is honestly just getting 1 or 2 kills maximum and just kind of putting a little bit of pressure on the enemy team. But what happens there is this is really good. Look, Exnid's actually in a 1v2, he gets 1, then he's in a 1v1, he goes through and he wins his second fight. That win was absolutely crucial right there, and I want to really go across and talk about the spawns once again. So what I wanted to see right now, I read the map wrong there, I'm actually tweaking right there. Let me back away a little bit. I actually misread the map for a second. I flipped the map for a second, that was on me. So we back away right now after these initial kills. Yeah, I missaid the wall bounce and window, that's on me. So right now look, the kills go in, the kills go in, the kills go in. In terms of P2, Falcons still have control of that. So that's on me. They still have the P2 side of the map. As you're going to see now, they're going to go across. So what I would have loved to see right now is maybe number 5 push through and really, really get aggressive there. So I actually think number 5 there probably could have got aggressive Joe. The fact that he goes through, I don't mind the play, but him losing the gunfight is quite huge there because now it's going to spawn them all the way at the back. So yeah, that's where I misinterpreted the map. But right now, what you want to see in terms of the aggression from the map, because we have 3 down from Falcons, what we essentially want to do is we want to try and keep Falcons as far away, keep Toronto as far away as possible. So if you're Exnid, you want to stay pushed up. You want somebody on the hill at the back, and then what you want to see is like number 1 push up, and then you want to see number 2 maybe push up window as well. We really want to put the pressure on the side of Toronto. So let's go through and see how Falcons hold this, because this was a great P2 from them, okay? So you're going to see once again, like I mentioned in terms of the pressure, do you see when you're rotating, because when I'm watching people or coaching or playing 8s or whatever it may be, and I hear people say, right, rotate, what happens is people back away. I want to focus on Pred's arrow. Pred and Celium, okay? They are both rotating, but they're pushed up. Pew is in the call right now. Sorry, he's in the chat right now. This is something I say to Pew all the time, who is around like the platinum level. So if Pew's rotating sometimes, he might be back here, right? If let's say Pew is Pred, he might be back here. Now he's rotating, he's trying to go for spawns, but what happens is if you have space, like we see now, you don't need to be at the back of the map. We can afford to push the enemies back. We can afford to be pushed up a little bit because we're not actually losing spawns that way. We're just putting pressure on them. So that's something that's super important. So let's see what happens and how they play this here, okay? So they get some kills once again. Pred's getting absolutely pressured on the left, which is going to allow Exnid to help him out a little bit. Great start from Exnid. You want your SMG heating up. That's exactly what he's going to do here. And just going to get a little bit of assistance. And now you're going to see every kill he gets is just going to kind of push them out a little bit. Number 8's looking for number 2. Inside's got to be... Sorry, Cleanix has to be quicker there with the trade, in my opinion. Like, right there, like... This is a bit faded. Like, if you watch this from here, right? Right there, okay? Boom, right now. In this, right now, he has to get that trade. And it's like, I think it was a bit unlucky, right? But this seems, it looks really trolly, timing-wise. Yeah, it looks really trolly. He goes through, he loses some timing. And again, like, the fact that Pred gets through there is crazy. But anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. They get across. I like the play from number 5. Can they kill number 4 in time? And again, it's just like little details. Like right there, they need to kill number 4 in time. They end up kind of getting the kill number 4. They end up getting away with it, and they end up holding the spawn there. So decent break from Toronto. It does take a little bit of time, but they end up getting there eventually. Inside's going to watch the left cross right now. Not too bad. Not too bad. Really good aggression from the side of Falcons again. I will say with 20 seconds left right now, you are putting a lot of resources onto old. Let's see if they can go through. This is a map where if you rotate late, it's not the end of the world because of how small it is. You can actually get 1 or 2 kills and you're already across the map. It's a very, very small bang out map. So sometimes you see teams hit a little bit late, follow through a side, and they're good to go. Like, look how many, like, literally in the last 20 seconds, we've seen 2 flips already. So right now, I'm going to see how the break is going to work. Falcons once again have the spawns, 2 hardpoints in a row. They're also going to have the lead. So it's going to come down to this initial break right now. Toronto are trying to hold from the front. They get taken down. It's going to be a couple of kills going through. Really, really big kills right now going from both sides. And Falcons just end up winning the trades. So off the break, the biggest things I'll say so far is the trades where it's been like a 3v3, a 2v2s. They've just slightly led towards the side of Falcons. So Falcons are definitely winning their team trades. And that puts so much pressure on the map. I like what Pred's doing right now. The pressure he's putting on the map right now. In terms of map control, let's just pause and see what's going on here. I always say this on this hill. You want somebody pushed up P1. Having someone P1 is such an asset. Because now, your square is essentially safe. This is square. Your square is essentially safe. I would actually prefer Insight right now, or Joe. Sorry, not Insight or Joe. Number 1 or 3. So Celium or Kismet, right? I would prefer Celium and Kismet actually shouldering the front. And actually putting pressure through the front. Instead of, like, I don't really know why Celium's holding the floor like that. Like, they know that Pred's being annoying. I think they could help Pred out through the front of the hill and just put pressure on them, which is exactly what you see now. So this is what I really like from the side of Falcons. They have Kismet and Pred pushed up to P1. Then they have Exon at the back. He's going to be blocking the spawns and he's watching the front. The pressure they're putting on. If we actually pause this right now, look at the map control. We have the whole of front. We have 2 people watching the front. We had 2 people watching the P1. We're going to spawn Toronto all the way back there. We have just pushed up so much of the map that we have total control. So one thing that I think they're doing a great job with is that. Look at that. They get another kill. They're funneling them through the front. And even that, they have a natural pinch on. He gets another kill. It's a 2v1 on time. It's just a great job. Right now, what should happen is Exnid should push up P1. And then Pred should replace him. Exactly that. So do you see that they have constant pressure? With 20 seconds left, Pred should just push up as well. And they should actually be spawning Toronto out. So you can see the one thing I think they did so well on this hill, the amount of times they push up the map. They don't really give Toronto a chance to get past P1. There wasn't one time that hill where Toronto actually managed to get past this line. There wasn't one, maybe for a second they got killed. But besides that, the whole hill was green because of the pressure from the SMGs on P1. Stadium holding the time, soaking as much of that. Then you had Kismet and Pred constant pressure through the P1. Great hold from that. Now we're going to go across. Joe gets a massive 2-piece. Celium gets killed. Joe with a big bailout 3-piece. Does get traded. Okay, so right now what do we want to see is the same pressure from the side of Insight and Toronto. So we're going to go across. Insight's going to hold the hill. Right there is a perfect example. Perfect example. I think Cleanix needs to tuck into square right now. Like, this is basically the opposite, but let me know what you guys think right now. Like, I think we know the pressure's coming from wall bounce, right? Based on where we spawned. I think right now, Cleanix needs to tuck into P1 and start helping out Kips, in my opinion. And then Joe can just reinforce wherever he needs to. But like right now, like we have 2 people watching the front. I think we need that P1 pressure. P1 is everything. Because even though we're holding right now, we give up the whole of P1, and it just comes down to the wave of kills here. I honestly think Kleenex right there needs to push up further. I really do. It ends up working out okay for Toronto, but once again, the pressure is just not there. I really believe they needed more P1 pressure there. Now they're going to go through good pinch from inside. I really like that pinch from inside. Going to do a good job there, and Toronto's going to do a good job of soaking that time overall. Even though I didn't really fully agree with that play, they did a good job soaking that time. Right, let's see how they set up for the new hill right now. Number one, Selim's going to watch that left hand side. I love the aggressiveness from Joe. Great use of Omni movement. Honestly, it's a fucking banging kill from Selim. Like, that's a crazy kill from Selim. The fact that he wins that is pretty insane. Like, whatever Omni movement he did there was crazy. Laid out kill for sure. Joe, that's a rough one from Joe. Joe would normally win that like 9 out of 10 times. And yeah, I guess that was a good little play, man, from Selim, man. And again, Cell with a big clutch kill. They're going to go through. Right now, he's going to kind of soak a wave. In terms of the pressure right now, what you're going to see is Falcons just soak the pressure. They're going to get killed right now. I love the play from Insight. Good pinch. Really good job from, I would say, Toronto to get that break. But Kismet's still pushed up. Kismet's still there. What can he do?
Insight. Maybe you can have a one-on-one here with Cell. The nade not going to connect. That comes up a little bit short. So
I mean, it went back and forward there, but I have to give it to Toronto. I think Falcons did such a good job to get that area of the map. I think Toronto did a really good job bringing this hill back here. So now it's going to go down to the side of the P1 second rotation. I will say that both teams had a pretty good map so far. I think Toronto had a really strong P4. I think Falcons had a strong P2 and 3. So this is going to come down to the second rotation. Right now, it's actually been a pretty good hard point. And we're going to see who kind of takes control. What team is able to really manipulate the spawns. As we go across to the P1, it's going to be Falcons with the initial play. Trades going in. Great kills from Kips and Joe there to get 2. But once again, I will say on the P1s, I have to say on the P1s, Exen's been going huge with his 2 pieces, but in general on the P1s, what I'm seeing a lot of the time is Falcons just edging the P1s right now, and that's really giving them like a small advantage in this situation right now. Exen's really popping off in the P1s. Alright, 40 seconds left. How's he going to play this? Let's see. Kips is going to go through. I bet he gets one. Again, man. Big kill from Exnid, man. Huge kill from Exnid. This P1, P1 can be a huge money hill, by the way. It can be a huge money hill. I'm just seeing here, like, a lot of time there. Like, they're just soaking so much time. But who can get the P2, chat? Who can get the P2? Right now, it's looking like the side of Toronto. Fantastic 2-piece. That 2-piece and the pressure, once again, is really good. So now we're seeing Toronto actually apply a similar amount of pressure. You can see Insight is fully pushed up to the wall bounce. You can see that Kips is kind of watching the left. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually spawn them all the way at the back of the map. So this is really good pressure. Both teams, both side of Toronto, they're blocking this spawn, right, which is great. They have this pushed up and they're pre-aiming this, so they're not going to spawn that P3, and then Insight was pushed up wall bounce, so they're not going to spawn P5. So we're actually spawning Falcons all the way on the back. This is exactly what you want to do as we head into a P2, is spawn them all the way in the back. Great, no, can't speak English. Great job and great pressure from the side of Toronto Ultra, or Toronto Koi. I forgot they're rebranded, that's on me. Okay, let's keep going. But once again, it's going to come down to this opportunity here. Kips is reading the pressure pretty well. I think the nade's trying to be a little bit fancy. Like, I can see what he's trying to do, but I mean, in that moment, just like getting out of there is a priority. Like, that extra second probably would have helped him. I see it. I mean, maybe I'm being picky, but he goes through, does get taken out. I like this play, man. Let's see if they can get some kills there. So in terms of when you're breaking, like, let's talk about this in detail, right? Why did Falcons choose this side of the map? Let me explain. When you're breaking this hill, what you want to do in general in Call of Duty is you want to go for the spawns first, okay? Because as they push this area, once they get through, every kill they get from here is going to spawn the other team out, and we're going to get like a parallel spawn. If we go through the front of the hill and we kill someone, they're just going to spawn at the back. So we need to get to the back to block it. Once we block it, no one can spawn there. It essentially gives you an extra wave. So right now, if we see this, they're pushing through the back. I want you to focus on the arrows. Look at number 6. You see how Kips spawns out? Even though they killed Kips here, he should spawn at the back, right? Boom, they put pressure at the back. Because they put pressure at the back after the kill, they're spawning them all the way out. So now Kips is spawning out. So now every kill we get is going to spawn them out. Now Kismet, let's see what Kismet. Kismet should just spawn P3. Let's see what happens. Now, because we get that kill, right, he gets very unlucky, that Kismet. He could actually spawn at the back. What we're going to see is Xnid. Xnid's going to spawn at the back. Joe and Inside are going to spawn wall bounce. So let's watch this together. You see that? Joe now actually spawns wall bounce, as well as Kleenex. Look where Xnid spawns. Even right there, Xnid should spawn at the back there. Maybe because, I don't know why he didn't spawn at the back, to be honest with you, but that's a weird one. Hey, he should spawn at the back, in my opinion. Yeah, right there, like, you see, like, it's like a weird delay, because look at number 2. Pred ended up spawning at the back, which is what should have happened, so Xnid actually got an unlucky spawn there, in my opinion, and Kismet, but yeah, it still worked out really well from Falcons. They're going to go through now. They're really close to the hill. You see we're trying to hold it from the front right now. It's going to work out really, really good from the side of, actually, Toronto, to be fair. Even though they lost spawns there, holding the hill pretty well, man. They did a good job. I will say Toronto did a good job this series of keeping in the game. I do feel like Falcons played like a little bit better this map. You look at Kismet, 13 and 18 struggling a little bit, but for the most part, watching the arrows and everything, I feel like Falcons are playing a bit better, and it seems like Toronto are kind of making the best out of their bad situations. I will say that. Big 2 from Pred. They're going to go through once again, same situation, and this time Toronto making some good plays. Like I mentioned, they are making some good plays. Once again, they're going for spawns. So look, they go through, they're going for spawns, they're getting those kills. They're not going through the front, they're trying to get the spawn, so that right now, boom, look at that now. Selim and Pred, look where they spawn. They spawn in Narnia. Why? Because we're getting the kills at the back. Now the back is open. Toronto are going to go through. They should be able to break it. Again, good kill from Xnid, but it's a much better hold there. I can't believe they didn't break that. That is mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. Let's look at the numbers right here. I think it starts right here. Okay? First of all, Xnid, great job playing his life. Okay? But from here, I think this is pretty faded. Like, the timing is just so off right now. Joe Deceives goes in first. I think he needs to wait there. He activates, like, for no reason. Like, he doesn't even go for Xnid. Now, we know the rest are at the back, and it just becomes easy. Kleenex gets a trade, but Kismet gets another one, and it just becomes a trade fest. And once again, we get another kill. Why were they scared to chow? Exact, bro, 3. I don't understand. When they get these kills right now, bro, Joe Deceives. Go and push Xnid. Like, right now, like, right there. What is Joe doing? What is Joe doing? Bro, what is Joe doing? Oh my god, I'm mind blown. This is 1 speed, yeah. This is 1 speed 10. Yo, why didn't Joe push him? I'm mind blown. Because right there, Joe pushes him. Even if Joe dies, yeah, Inside gets a trade, or Kleenex gets a trade, and they spawn behind him. This is faded. They thought Xnid was Thanos, bro. They need to push him now. He should have just slid in, Joe. Even right now when he's going in, he's looking at the front. He doesn't even shoot Xnid. Really, really bad play from Joe, who's one of the best players in the game. So this was really poor from Joe. Like, that should have been a kill. Then they lose their trades. They were just too slow, too scared. I'm really confused right there. 3, I'll be honest. You would have killed Xnid there. I'm being completely honest. You would have killed him. You would have fried him. And then you would have all watched the front. Very confusing. Very, very confusing. They go through. They get another 2-piece. And, yeah, just like that, they're able to get another wave, man. It's a interesting one. And then once again, we see from the side of Falcons, they put that pressure P1. They're going to have 2 people watching the front, and they're just going to have so much extra time there at this stage of the game. This new rotation is basically everything. You know, it's going to come down to this again. Who's watching the pinch right now? If we really look at this again, just in terms of our resources, look what we have right here, right? I don't mind Insight putting pressure on ult. Okay, cool. But why do we have number 6, number 8, and number 7 all watching the left side of the map, with number 5 watching square? We have 3 people. We have 3 people watching this side, 1 watching square, no one watching the P2 overextension route. If we pay attention to the arrows, Kismet gets in for free. Now we have everyone on Toronto, every single person focused on the front, not one person paying attention to number 3. Very, very strange play. With 12 seconds left, they completely give up the map. Insight reacts to it, but it's already too late. Kismet's now at the back of the map. The kills that Green just got, Kips and Joe deceives now. If we look at the spawns, right, this spawn's wide open. So look what happens. This spawn is wide open. This is very, very bad hardpoint from Toronto. Some of the worst hardpoint decisions. At this stage of the game, 13 seconds left. A team this good, very bad hardpoint. You have 3 people watching the left. No one picks up the right. We shouldn't even let them get through P1. Right now, we should have somebody maybe elbow stopping the pressure. Kismet is going to block this side of the map. The spawn's open at the back. Boom. They're going to spawn at the back. At this point, it's already too late. Both of them now are distracted by Kismet. Kismet does such a good job of buying time. Guess what? Exit's right there as well. Now Exit goes through, goes to the back. He's in a 1v1 now against Insight. He's going to go across. He ends up winning the 1v1. And just like that, within 10 seconds, they're able to get the rotation. And that is going to secure the map win. Team as good as Toronto should never, ever let that happen. Really, really bad hardpoint. Really bad hardpoint. Going to go through. And I just think the aggression from Falcons just absolutely got to Toronto. They just could not compete with them. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. We now have the setup. We know how important mid-map is. We have 2 people watching mid-map. We're completely chalking the front of the hill. It's fine. They're saying, you know what? I want mid-map. If you guys go to the left side, if you guys go through the left, we'll pinch you. We'll pinch you through window. They are okay to give up the left because they have mid-map control. And with mid-map, look, now you can get aggressive. He dies, but guess what? Kismet's right behind him. The trades are constant. This map is a perfect map from the side of Falcons. I said this at the start of the year. This team needs to rely on their SMG aggression. You have Kismet, Pred, and Xnid. And that's what they're doing so well this year. This major, they are heavily relying on these SMG maps. Colossus, Blackheart. If you play these teams on these maps, these SMG-based teams, you need to match their aggression. I look at Toronto, you have Joe, Kips, and Kleenex. There's not been one hard point where they have completely taken care of P1. 3M, remember I spoke about this to you recently, how much I want you to push P1? I literally spoke about this to 3M. I said, right, I want you to push P1 more. If you watch Pred's arrow this map, this guy's constantly P1. Every hill is P1. Because that is cutting the map. This was an unbelievable performance from Falcons, but the game was very close. Very, very close. It just took a bit of a land scale. I would say about 3 hard points. 3 hard points Toronto completely trolled. Very even game going up to that, and then Toronto just absolutely trolled. YouTube, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the breakdown, same as you TikTok. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the video. If you guys want to see more of these, I will have some exclusive ones on the e-guide where I'm going to be going through more CDL specific maps. But yeah, shout out to Falcons. It was a great one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys from them tomorrow. Peace.